Hi guys, my name is Sarah Cox, and I'm really excited to share with you guys the interview that I conducted this past week. To give you some background information, I actually found my interview candidate through Facebook. I belong to a Facebook group called Ontario Teachers Resource Sharing, and I threw up a quick post asking if anybody would be willing to donate some time to help further my master's studies and to help me frame a research question for the upcoming semester. So I'm very, very excited to share this with you. You'll notice that I have also provided my interview protocol as well as the cover letter and signed consent forms. And in those consent forms that my interviewee has requested to remain anonymous. So throughout this presentation, we are going to refer to her as DK. DK actually went to school in the Greater Toronto area. After high school, she decided to go to Queen's University for both her undergraduate degree and her Bachelor of Education. However, she didn't decide to become a teacher until, like most of us, she sought out some extra income through tutoring as well as TAing. And through these TA experiences especially, she found the joy of kind of running her own classroom and how much she can contribute to a student's life by teaching them some things that maybe they didn't fully understand before. And she really, really enjoyed it. She's qualified to teach intermediate and senior students in computer science as well as math. And extremely exciting, she loves to teach data management. And I found this really funny because I am also a math teacher and data management is probably my least favorite course to teach. Even better, she was just hired full-time with the York Region District School Board, so she had a 0.5 contract, and now, in fact, yesterday, she signed her 1.0. So she loves to be a math teacher, she loves helping her students, she loves incorporating that fun aspect, and especially she loves instilling this idea of having students who are active questioners and problem solvers in her classroom. And these ideas kind of form the background or the framework to her interests in education. So she's obviously interested in computer science, and this has strong links to technology. And when you link these together, especially with her passion for math, you kind of come out with this idea that she referred to as modern learning. And in modern learning, what happens is that we are actively teaching students to be critical thinkers in today's world. You're moving away from what we would think of as traditional learning practices. So ideas like textbook and paperwork are no longer being used. In fact, DK told me that she has also heard this as referred to the 21st century learning model. And she actually uses this quite regularly in her classrooms. So ideas like incorporating technology, you're linking to inquiry-based learning, so now you're having students ask questions and do research. And you're trying to teach kids the way the world is today and not through old school methods. And these were words that she actually used to describe this methodology. For DK, she really feels that she has a strong self-reported capacity to support modern learning in her classroom. So she does a lot of self-driven professional development, and often this happens throughout the summer. Sometimes her school board is able to send her on PDs, especially because she is a member of the NTIP program. And in these PD sessions, so in these professional development sessions, you're given this opportunity to work collaboratively with teachers, but it kind of also feeds into the problem that she's finding. And part of that problem is how to invest and how to integrate the idea of a creative thinking classroom in a secondary world. So linking modern learning with creative thinking classroom, how can we get students up out of their seats using modern technology to solve problems in all courses, especially, and her link to this was math, because in math, we often see students just sitting at their desk doing questions out of textbooks. And there's a lot of older school methods being used. DK feels that there are some gaps between her current and future capacity, including her experience. So she's just signing her full 1.0 contract. Funding. So funding to support tech in the classroom setup itself, so moving away from just having desks, maybe having some longer problem-solving tables, collaborative space, collaboration, not just with students, but also with other teachers. PD, so there's limited PD kind of revolving around this idea of modern learning in 21st century classrooms. You will see if you do a quick Google search that there's lots of PD opportunities, but they often revolve around the same key principles. And so you're sitting in these PD sessions wondering, when is it going to be different? When are we actually going to experience modern learning in these PD sessions? One of the PD things that she has found value in is NTIP, so this new teacher induction program, where she actually has a mentor who mirrors a lot of the same teaching practices as DK, so that's been very helpful for her. And one of the things that she believes that she can accomplish in order to kind of integrate modern learning in the classroom is becoming a department head. So becoming a department head would allow her to kind of guide teamwork, to set collaborative goals within her department, ensure student success, see this vision of having a 21st century classroom, and instilling all of these really important skills that her students need to kind of be successful in this modern world. So this kind of framed my research process. And some of the keywords that I use and will continue to use to gather some resources are modern learning, 21st century learning, creative thinking classroom, modern learning classroom, and flexible seating. And once I have all of this information and I've sort of done some preliminary searches, I realized that it's a lot. So I thought I would add some qualitators into this framework, which was 21st century learning in the secondary classroom, because DK really, really emphasized that she wants to get this going in the secondary classroom. So my next steps, I need to form a research question. And even as a scientist, I know that research questions often guide our research, so I'm hoping that I can narrow it down. And I've kind of narrowed it down to a couple of ideas. So tools for implementing 21st century teaching practices, and potential barriers to overcome. I think as teachers, we always need to keep in mind these barriers so that we can kind of implement some strategies to overcome them. And then I need to narrow down the research, because there's a lot of research. Some of it's up and coming, some of it's a little bit old, especially when you incorporate those earlier ideas of inquiry-based learning. So it's kind of a whole puzzle piece right now, and I'm looking to see how I can fit those pieces together to form this picture that she framed for me. I'm really excited to be looking forward to this. I know that I've gone over time a little bit, so I hope that that's okay. If you have any further questions, please post them below. It's hard to summarize a 40-minute conversation that I have with this amazing individual into 5 short minutes. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think. I'm really looking forward to this assignment, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys have.